morning, it's December the 2nd, day 2 of Vlogmas. So I hope you enjoyed, reflection again, haven't I? Must remember the reflection thing. What reflection, honey? You should have told me that. Oh, now Henry's here. Oh, dear me. Oh, that's better. A bit further away though. You don't need to see my fizzog that close up, do you? It's day 2 of Vlogmas. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed yesterday's little offering. Yesterday was crazy. There was so much going on. Honestly, I was spinning around like something that I can't say. Oh, camera. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my rendition of the first few pages of A Christmas Carol. I will be bringing the next lot to you a little bit later. We've got a pretty hectic day. Henry's going to be tap dancing on the floor here, so I do apologise for that. You want to get up, do you? You're feeling left out. Oh, hold on. Hold on. What are you doing? You want to come up? You want to come up? I don't know if there's room on here for you. Hang on then. Let me scoot across. Let me scoot across. Come on. Ugh. Here we go. Sit on there, oh stinky. Oh, look. How pathetic is that, eh? How pathetic is that? I was going to give a demonstration of the furniture, but... Oh, that's the postman. There you go. Look, oh, you can see the new furniture. Give a demonstration. Hang on, what have we got going on here? What are you doing? Okay. I think we have enough of that. Okay, I'm going to try again. I've now got old Grumpy down there, and then I've got old Crazy going on there. Pain and panic. Chaos and mayhem, we should have called them, not Honey and Henry. Oh, no, I can't get this right. Oh, this is going to be so amateur. How am I expected to film with this going on? Are you quite done? Oh, dear. Right, I'm going to try and talk now. Anyway, today... You're hijacking my segment. What am I going to do? Get your face out of my face. Right. Where are you going? Oh dear. How are they going to get the post? Wait for it. There he comes. Thank you. Thank you. Do I get that? Thank you. My hand. Pen. Good boy. He's a good boy. Now you want a biscuit. So I'm abandoning any thought of trying to film in the lounge. Hopefully, while the dogs are eating their biscuits, I can say another quick good morning. It's Hannah's birthday today that you would have seen already, so we're celebrating that today. I've got a few things I need to do. I've done my morning Bible study, which was actually really good this morning. I've got a little bit of work to do. I do a little bit of tech editing every now and then. And I've got a pattern that I need to give my attention to this morning, if the dogs will let me. And then Hannah and I are going to head into town. We're going to choose her birthday present. She's going to have some new Dr. Martens shoes. So we're going to buy that. We're going to have coffee. She's getting her nails done. Sadly, they didn't have a space for me to get my nails done. Might buy some stickers. Then we're going to pop up and see my dad. He was going to meet us in town as well, but sadly he's down with a bit of a cold. So we're just going to pop up and do a quick mercy visit to him and say hello, not stay too long because we obviously don't want to get the bugs. But in the meantime, we'll see what today brings. Yeah, I was going to say something really profound then, but no, it's just gone. pinnacle of my coolness here, which I think is a little bit overstating it. I have bubble tea bought for me by my daughter, who's very happily filming this for me. Thank you. And it's, what was it? Mango
fruit tea with passion
mango
fruit
tea with passion fruit bubble balls in the bottom. Pearls I think they're called. So let's give it a go. I'm sitting in the shopping centre. I mean, how classy is this?
Very nice.
Okay, I'm going in. Well, the mango's alright. It's a little bit strange. See if I can get one of the pearls up. Well, it's fun. And it's cold because I'm so hot. Cheers. Hannah, meantime, is an old hand at this. Actually, it matches your nails as well. Can we just see? Let's zoom into the nails. Birthday nails. They're very pretty, very festive.
Christmas tree nails.
Christmas tree nails.
To go with mine.
Apple? Is that apple?
Yes, it's apple and apple.
Apple and apple.
Apple fruit with apple.
You're living on the edge.
Oh yeah. Well, one time I had mango with apple, and everyone acted like it was the grossest thing in the world. So.
Oh, that's rude.
I know.
Sad times. Hannah's left all her bubbles to the bottom.
Yeah. How did you guess?
Common chips.
What you got, Grandpa?
You stupid.
That's
Oh dear.
It couldn't be anything better. And if you kill the video now, I'll run them off and you can do one in situ.
Oh my goodness, we have just got home. It's taken us nearly an hour to get home. The traffic was so bad. So that was quite a long day, it has to be said. We don't go into town very much. But we did pop, as you will have seen, we did pop and see my dad on the way home. You don't want my calendar in the background, do you? Oh, you don't really want any of that. We did call in and see him and stayed a bit longer than we'd planned. He had a cold. He was going to come out and meet us for a cup of coffee, but he'd had this nasty cold all week. So he wanted to give Hannah her birthday present. So he said, can we pop round? And he'll wear a mask, bless him. And then you obviously saw the little present we gave him that Hannah found in one of the shops in town. But oh, that journey home was just hideous. We were both so desperate to get home for a cup of tea and get the fire on, cup of tea. We're having a takeaway tonight. I've still got things to do that I need to do before we sit down tonight. I've just got to finish that little bit of tech editing. It's pretty much done now. Just got to get that wrapped up, shall we say. And we're going to have a takeaway. We were going to watch Hannah's favourite film. I think I probably said earlier, Nativity. But actually, we're so all into the World Cup football, which is possibly a little bit sad, but a bit invested in it now. So Hannah was saying she'd quite like to just sit and watch the football. So I think we might do that and then save Nativity for one night next week. Plus, we haven't got the Christmas trees up yet, and it'd be nicer to watch it when the trees are up. So I think that's what we're going to do. Got home, my poor hounds are... They're outside, they've been on their own. They're not normally left for very long at all. In fact, very rarely they left. So they were very excited to see us. But I think we had a good day. Hannah and I, she had her nails done and all that biz. So I now have to go and record the next segment of A Christmas Carol for you. And I haven't had a chance to open up my Advents or anything yet. So, Really? Really? That's what we've come to today. I will share with that tomorrow. So if I don't get a chance to come back and say goodnight, I'll say goodnight. And I'll see you tomorrow. Stave 1 continued. His nephew left the room without an angry word notwithstanding. He stopped at the outer door to bestow the greetings of the season on the clerk, who, cold as he was warmer than Scrooge, for he returned them cordially. "There's another fellow," muttered Scrooge, who overheard him. "My clerk, with 15 shillings a week and a wife and a family, talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam." This lunatic, in letting Scrooge's nephew out, had let 2 other people in. They were portly gentlemen, pleasant to behold, and now stood with their hats off in Scrooge's office. They had their books and papers in their hands and bowed to him. "Scrooge and Marley's, I believe," said one of the gentlemen, referring to his list. "Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?" "Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years," Scrooge replied. "He died 7 years ago this very night." "We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner," said the gentleman, presenting his credentials. It certainly was, for they had been 2 kindred spirits. At the ominous word liberality, Scrooge frowned and shook his head and handed the credentials back. "At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge," said the gentleman, taking up a pen, "it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir." "Are there no prisons?" asked Scrooge. "Plenty of prisons," said the gentleman, laying down the pen again. "And the union workhouses?" demanded Scrooge. "Are they still in operation?" "They are, still," returned the gentleman. "I wish I could say they were not." "The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigour, then?" said Scrooge. "Both very busy, sir." "Ah! I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course," said Scrooge. "I'm very glad to hear it." "Under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude," returned the gentleman, "a few of us are endeavouring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We chose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?" "Nothing," Scrooge replied. "You wish to be anonymous?" "I wish to be left alone," said Scrooge. "Since you ask me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there." "Many can't go there, and many would rather die." "If they would rather die," said Scrooge, "they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population. Besides, excuse me, I don't know that." "But you might know it," observed the gentleman. "It's not my business," Scrooge returned. "It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen." Seeing clearly that it would be useless to pursue their point, the gentleman withdrew. Scrooge resumed his labours with an improved opinion of himself and in a more facetious temper than was usual with him. Meanwhile the fog and darkness thickened so that people ran about with flaring links, proffering their services to go before horses in carriages and conduct them on their way. The ancient tower of a church, whose gruff old bell was always peeping slyly down at Scrooge out of a Gothic window in the wall, became invisible, and struck the hours and quarters in the clouds with tremulous vibrations afterwards, as if its teeth were chattering in its frozen head up there. The cold had become intense. In the main street at the corner of the court, some labourers were repairing the gas pipes and had lighted a great fire in a brazier, round which a party of ragged men and boys were gathered, warming their hands and winking their eyes before the blaze in rapture. The water plug being left in solitude, its overflowing sullenly congealed and turned to misanthropic ice. The brightness of the shops, where holly sprigs and berries crackled in the lamp heat of the windows, made pale faces ruddy as they passed. Poulterers' and grocers' trades became a splendid joke, a glorious pageant with which it was next to impossible to believe that such dull principles as bargain and sale had anything to do. The Lord Mayor, in the stronghold of the mighty mansion house, gave orders to his 50 cooks and butlers to keep Christmas as a Lord Mayor's household should, and even the little tailor, whom he had fined 5 shillings on the previous Monday for being drunk and bloodthirsty in the streets, stirred up tomorrow's pudding in his garret, while his lean wife and baby sallied out to buy the beef. Foggier yet, and colder. Piercing, searching, biting cold. If the good St. Dunstan had but nipped the evil spirit's nose with a touch of such weather as that, instead of using his familiar weapons, then indeed he would have roared to lusty purpose. The owner of one scant young nose, gnawed and mumbled by the hungry cold as bones are gnawed by dogs, stooped down at Scrooge's keyhole to regale him with a Christmas carol. But at the first sound of "God bless ye, merry gentlemen, may nothing you dismay," Scrooge seized the ruler with such an energy of action that the singer fled in terror, leaving the keyhole to the fog and even more congenial frost. At length, the hour of shutting up the counting-house arrived. With an ill will, Scrooge dismounted from his stool and tacitly admitted the fact to the expectant clerk in the tank, who instantly snuffed his candle out and put on his hat. "You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose," said Scrooge. "If quite convenient, sir." "It's not convenient," said Scrooge, "and it's not fair. If I was to stop you £0.50 for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound." The clerk smiled faintly. "And yet," said Scrooge, "you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work." The clerk observed that it was only once a year. "A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December," said Scrooge, buttoning his great coat to the chin. "But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning." The clerk promised that he would, and Scrooge walked out with a growl. The office was closed in a twinkling, and the clerk, with the long ends of his white comforter dangling below his waist, for he boasted no great coat, went down a slide on Cornhill, at the end of a lane of boys 20 times in honour of it being Christmas Eve, and then ran home to Camden Town as hard as he could pelt to play at blind man's buff.